Hello friends, I am Bushra Naseem and my topic of discussion is concept of beauty. Beauty is one of the most elusive thing to define. From the ancient time, philosophers and aestheticians have making elaborate observations to explain the concept of beauty. It is very difficult to define beauty with any single comprehensive definition. Different thinkers and philosophers have their own parameters to define the concept. However, something that is beautiful in one place and for one person may not be so in another place and for another person. The definitions do help in identifying the characteristic of beauty, but they have not been able to pinpoint those definitions which can be conclusive. It is ultimately the creator and the appreciators who discovered it in their own individual ways by generation of interest and attraction. Some people go crazy about the beauty of opera, and there are other who cannot stand it. Some people like the classical music while others do not have any interest in it and would rather listen to the popular music. Some people like ornamentation, that is Shinghara Rasa, and other admire a peaceful rendering, that is Shanti Rasa. Some women are so artificial that they have no sense of art. Most men are so natural that they have no sense of beauty. The variations in response to the beautiful are endless. For some people, beauty is simple, and for other, beauty is what beauty does. In creative arts, the concept of beauty have been dealt with many from two different philosophies. One is the Greek theory of beauty, expanded to the Greco-Roman theory, which professed idealized realism. Plato's theory approved the representational art, which did not have any room for symbolism, while the theory of Aristotle, in his theory, Aristotle talked of the moral purposes of art, but omitted symbolism. Although he went beyond Plato in contextualizing that and give the hint. Art is a vision which accept imitation, and although straight imitation and copy of object to represent only the outward appearance is not agreeable. Selective observation made by some of the eminent Western philosophers and aestheticians indeed vindicate the idea that beauty can be viewed from various angles. For example, Romanian philosopher Plotinus said, "Man believes the world itself to be overcharged with beauty, but he forget that he is the cause of it." French philosopher Rene Descartes claimed that beauty is related to pleasure. Experience of beauty is intellectual joy accompanied by a passion or emotion. German philosopher Immanuel Kant said categorically that there was no objective rule of taste and concepts by which beauty can be defined. Beautiful is that which pleases beyond a concept. Another famous philosopher, Croce, said science gave us utility and art gave us beauty. For the ongoing query, why artists should be so concerned with the creation of beauty, the German composer and conductor E. Stors replied, "I thought artists were for providing beauty. Beauty is truth, and truth is beauty. That is all you know on earth and all you need to know." These are the words of John Key. Thus, we find that most of the Western aestheticians, some of whom are quoted above, are not only acknowledged the relationship between the creativity about what beauty is and should be, The Indian thinkers and aestheticians from the ancient time have talked about beauty in a similar vein, but their aim was to symbolize and not idealize. The concept of beauty in Indian aesthetic is based on a metaphysical approach to Ananda, which is pure delight, that is blissful joy. Ananda is the beginning and the end of the word, cause as well as the effect, the root as well as the shell of the universe. It's a quote from Upanishad. Unlike the Western philosophy, the ultimate goal of in Indian philosophy was to go beyond life and its its journal knowledge. That is to achieve ultimate freedom, that is moksha. In in India, philosophy was a way of life beside being a thought process which dealt with the practical problems of life. Nature has a mysterious basis, and beauty can be found in the realization of nature's diversity and its secrets. The beauty of the supernatural powers which created would be something superior to it. Kalidas, the famous poet, said, "Beautiful is the manifestation of the secret law of nature, without which their presence would have remained concealed forever." The core of Indian aesthetic, which was synthesized in the early centuries of Hindu, Buddhist, and Jain cultures, was followed by a new concept of beauty, which emerged during the Muslim period, that is between 10th and 17th century AD. It was dominated by a decorative or ornamentation with mathematical precision and stylization of all type of human flora and fauna forms, beside the panoramic view of nature. Such artistry was patronized by the powerful establishment of Muslim ruler. Different schools of Indian miniature painting, like the Mughal, Rajput, or Pahadi school, which originated from the medieval Persian, Jain, and Buddhist manuscripts, are other fascinating examples. Hindu and Muslim design elements, when combined, produce gems of architecture all over the country. The crowning glory being the Taj Mahal in Agra. German philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer analyzed that the ultimate good is beauty and ultimate joy lies in the creation or cherishing of the beautiful. Finally, we realize that beauty can neither be known objectively nor described in words. It can be felt in most cases individually. That's all from my side. Thank you very much.